What's good, y'all? I'm back again with another vlog video. This one is actually meant to continue from the previous one that I put up a week ago, actually. Now I'm gonna just hop into this joint. I'm gonna hop into this joint right here. So, as far as the previous vlog went, I pretty much gave you my current thoughts on things as far as music, movies, and what I've been progressing with in terms of my poetry, my music. Now this one, I definitely want to jump into the movies again. There were a couple of other movies that I didn't get to mention in the previous one. I realized that. So I wanted to get into those real quick, and then I'm gonna move on from there. And there were a couple movies that I've seen. I'm gonna get into 3 animated movies that I saw, and how was my enjoyment of those films. Spider-Verse for one. See, you can tell right now, that I enjoyed the hell out of that movie, man. You could tell that I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was unexpected because I did not think the movie was gonna do as well as it did. Be received as well as it did. And for my enjoyment of the film, besides the fact that the main character is kind of like me, although he's a mix of African American and Hispanic, or Puerto Rican for that matter. I appreciated the fact that this movie even exists now, and how the movie managed to develop his story, that even with all the other characters that was showing up, while I enjoyed the hell out of that, the main focus was on Miles Morales. Not a lot of people was too big on his character in the comic books. I actually became a fan of him at one point. I did. I actually enjoy him as a character, but what they did for the film, though, because it was a stretch of almost a 2-hour movie, and how they were able to do his story in that film makes you love the character even more. And that's the main thing that I was looking forward to when watching this film, because when watching the trailers for this film, it's like, oh, I know this story is supposed to be based on Miles Morales. The whole movie was centered around him, but is the movie going to be overcrowded given the fact that there was other spider people showing up? And then you got his parents, you got the villains that was showing up in there. It was a lot going on. It was a lot going on in the film. But it's how they did it, that even with all the spectacle, with all that kinetic energy that was going on with the action in the film and the interactions between the characters, and let me say this, the animation was something I haven't seen before. And also the fact that the movie actually did feel like a comic book. Oh, somebody on a motorcycle out there. But yeah, given the fact that the movie actually felt like a comic book come to life, that was the beauty of what that film managed to do. And I was so proud of how that movie turned out, how it looked, how the story was being told. Because there was a lot going on. But they had a focus. They had a focus with that film, and that's how much I enjoyed it. I could watch it multiple times. I don't care. That's how much I enjoyed that film, man. I went on and gave it a flat out 10. I went on and gave it a flat out 10. Because I could have easily been nitpicking like crazy. But nah, I enjoyed the film overall. Everybody had a place in the story that was being told in the film. I'm glad that even happened. Enjoyed the hell out of it. Aquaman. Now, given how the movie turned out, of course there was people out there who had their gripes, their nitpicks, that there were times when the film felt like that it didn't have focus, that the director for the film, James Wan, he was relying on surprise explosions for the next action scene to take place, that once or twice would have been enough, but 3 to 4 times, like, they were getting sick of that. Yeah, there was some people who felt that way. Yeah, there was some people who felt like, you know, in terms of the story, the main villain of the movie could have gotten a little bit more, or the main character could have gotten a little bit more, or even the redhead Mira could have gotten a little bit more to do. She was just there for plot convenience. Willem Dafoe was just there for plot convenience. Info dump. As much as anybody would want to have their gripes with anything along the lines of that, for me though, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. Why? Because Aquaman was always a joke for quite some time. He was always at the butt of jokes. So now, watching this movie, it embraces that and puts its own spin on it. And they can get meta with it from time to time. And I enjoyed it. I have fun with the film. And I actually like this interpretation of Aquaman. Yeah, he gives you that surfer bro vibe. He was already like that in Justice League. But with Aquaman, they got a chance to expand on his character a little bit more. And I felt like, yeah, they managed to pull that off. And Jason Momoa as Aquaman, he was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. So I'm ready to see more of that. And I like Black Manta in there. That's the crazy thing about it, man. Even with the suit, it's so comic book accurate. Aquaman wearing his suit, that's comic book accurate. Mira wearing her suit, you already know, that's comic book accurate. Like, Ocean Master, Orm, the main villain of the film, he wore the mask. He wore the helmet, the mask, the whole getup. He had that whole thing. They actually did embrace the comic book aspect of it. And it worked. Because any other time looking at something like that, you'd be like, it looks ridiculous. But how is it that Aquaman managed to pull that off? I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. That movie was good, bro. That movie was good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I gave it a 9.5 at first, but then thinking about it, like when I first came out the film, I was like, screw it, it's a 10 for me. I have fun with it. I got an expansion on Aquaman's character in terms of how that's being interpreted for the big screen. I enjoyed it. I did. I can't lie about that. Although I did say 3 animated movies that I wanted to talk about. I just named one, and then I went into Aquaman. But there's also Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph 2. Now, we all know, when the first movies came out, we enjoyed the hell out of those movies, that when it came for the second movies to come rolling around, are they gonna measure up? Are they gonna be as good as the first, if not better than the first? And there has been people out there who said that the sequels didn't match up to what the first one was. For me though, starting with Incredibles 2, I enjoyed Incredibles 2 as much as the first film. That's just me. I enjoyed it as much as the first film. A lot of what they were doing with the story, especially with the characters, it's the vice versa effect. The first movie was the main focus on Mr. Incredible. This time, it was Elastigirl. I actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed the flip that they took from the first movie. And yeah, some people would say that Screenslaver, the villain of the movie, was a bit weaker from Syndrome. But for me, I actually enjoyed the Screenslaver for what it was. I did. I can't lie about that. I did. I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed the character for what it was. Because it's the same aspect of what Syndrome was. It's just that it was a different character, so they had to do something a little bit different with that. And some people was nitpicking about the third act of the movie. That when the action happened, it all took place on a boat instead of it taking place in a city where people get a chance to spread out and showcase their abilities, especially the new characters that showed up in there. For me, though, I felt like that was the best thing for that movie to do, to not have it take place in a city. Because speaking of the first Incredibles, they already did it. The third act took place in a city. The fight took place in a city. They already did it in the first one. So they had to switch it up in the second one. I felt like, hey, might as well. They wasn't going to do it twice. Have the final fight take place in the city. So they did it on a different platform. They did it on a boat. I thought it was interesting, the fact that they did that. And Frozone, he had a lot more to do in the movie. And I love when he was saving the boat from crashing into a building. He was killing that. Nah, man. I enjoyed the second movie as much as the first. What can you do? That's how I feel about it. Wreck-It Ralph 2? Well, here's the thing. The first movie is always going to have a place in my heart. Much like the first Incredibles movie. That as well. It's going to have a place in my heart. Because I enjoyed that movie like crazy. The first Wreck-It Ralph film. Loved it. Loved it to pieces. The second Wreck-It Ralph? Yeah, I would say that the first movie has a slight edge from the second one. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy the second one. Because I did. And it's better than what the Emoji Movie tried to do. Because at least with Wreck-It Ralph 2, it had a story going for it. At least with Wreck-It Ralph 2, the aspects of the internet and social media and technology being the new age of things, the way they managed to speak on that throughout that film says a lot. Because it's very true of what we're dealing with in this day and age of the internet, social media, and technology. Understandably so. That's one of the major aspects about the film that I enjoyed. That's one of the major aspects of the film that I enjoyed. So yeah, I enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph 2. The first Wreck-It Ralph movie has a slight edge on the second one for me. But I enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph 2 nonetheless. I did. So those were the two animated movies that I got into with that. Making it the total of 3 that I brought up. And I brought up Aquaman. Ooh, later today, I mean, by the time this video goes up, and for those of you who ends up watching it, you're only gonna see that it's this day, 23rd of March, that I'm bringing this up to you right now, that I'm gonna watch Bumblebee, because I was actually interested in seeing what that movie was gonna look like. And because it was a different director this time, I'm thinking I'm going to enjoy that one. So later tonight, I'm going to get a chance to see that. I'm more than happy to say that. I think I'm going to enjoy the hell out of that film, though. I can't lie about that. But enough about the movies. I wanted to get into something else real quick, and that's music. In terms of what have we been getting lately? I wanted to get into this real quick in terms of music that's out there in the public eye, that's out there in the streams for us to consume, that there's music out there that we need to appreciate more for having something to say instead of just putting music out there just for the sake of putting music out there in terms of commercial success and everything. Like, we have to appreciate the artist that comes out with music that even when they can go commercial with it, they still have something to say that matters. What makes music important in the first place. And even for those who don't go commercial with it, because they have something to say, they got a following of their own. Why? Because they're trying to be real about it. They're trying to let you know that with music, the more you love it, the more you care about it. The more you care about it, the more you're willing to speak up on that. The more you want to put that forward, bring it to the forefront. That in today's age where commercial music out here is the thing that's selling right now, we need to have that balance that even with the commercial music that's out there, and it's going to be sticking around anyway, that's bound to happen. The commercial music is going to be out there. But what about the music that means something? These days, it's a rare thing to have. We need more of that now. We need more of that. We got to appreciate the artists that makes a name for themselves through music that has a message behind it, even when they can dabble into the commercial sound that we got right now. If they manage to make it work and have a message behind something, you got more layers to go with it. To dabble into the commercial sound and have a message behind it, I can get behind that. I could definitely get behind that. And that's the thing with me when it comes down to the music aspect of it all, when it gets down to the poetry stuff as well. For me, I feel like that with the work that I want to bring to the forefront, that's exactly how I feel. Everything that's commercial right now, that's the selling point. That's the thing that's hot. That's the thing that's hitting. That's the thing that's trending. The thing about me is that I ain't worried about all of that. I worry about if there's meaning behind what's being said and the production being made. The context of how it's done. Because before you even hear lyrics on a joint, it's the music that gotta get you in that feeling, in that moment. It's the music that's meant to tell you the story before you actually hear it. And I feel like that with a lot of those artists that's out here right now, we need more of those. We need more of those. For this generation right here, we need more of that music. Nowadays, we've been more exposed to the commercial sound. Everything that's hot, trending. What's making headlines. We get so caught up in that mess. It's like we don't even know real music when we hear it. We wanna block it out. We wanna block it out and act like it doesn't exist. We ain't trying to hear all of that. We just want to turn up. I mean, I get it. It's not to say I don't get it. I do get it. You know, we want that escapism every now and again. I understand that. I get it. But at the same time, we need the music that hits us where it should, to give us that message, that realization of what life really is out here. Even when we don't want to hear it, we have to. That's what I want to do. So for those of y'all who's watching this video, understand that's where I'm coming from. Alright? Understand that's where I'm coming from. It's not to say I'm trying to diss anybody. I'm not trying to diss nobody. I'm not taking away the credit where the credit is due, but at the same time, how I feel is how I feel. Music that means something to me should be in the public eye more, in the forefront more. Because a lot of what the commercial music is doing, I feel like it's been played out. It's been played out. It's washed. It's washed up. There's nothing more to it than what we expect to get. The thing is, going commercial with it, I expect better than what we've been getting so far. I expect better than this. I expect better than just being simplistic for the sake of being simplistic. Just because that's the thing that's hot right now doesn't mean it always works. Find a new angle. Find something that suits your sound better. The content gotta be better. Especially for the artists that I know who has potential. That they can do better than what they've been doing right now. For some artists that I felt like I fell off of, because getting into today's sound with their music is like, where was the artist that I was introduced to before? They go commercial and get big off of this stuff. Now it's like, oh, so they're lumped in with the rest? Nah, I know there's potential in there. For them. I know there's potential for them. I expect better. Hopefully I could get it. That's all I ask. And that's all I want to do when it comes to me making music. Because you know I get picky when it comes to music, man. I get picky with it. I want music that speaks to me. That has a story to tell. That brings meaning to life. That is a message to spread across the globe, and something that we need more of these days. And to cap this off, I want to talk about me as far as doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. I feel like when it comes to me posting up videos for YouTube, put it this way, I'm not really big on doing the whole visuals thing, getting into the copyright situation, if I'm using content from other sources, if I'm using photos from other sources and all of that. I'm not big on doing that. I'm not really big on doing something like that, because the way I want to do my videos is like this. It's like I'm talking to y'all. I want to give it to y'all like this. Raw, real, authentic, with this whole thing that I'm a human being. I am a person. I'm not big on the idea of trying to get fancy with the visuals and the editing to chop up the mistakes in videos. If I'm gonna make a mistake in a video, I'll be sure to point it out. I don't care. If I end up doing another video discussing that, acknowledging that, I would. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I'm not perfect. I'm not big on that whole thing. I'm not. I'm not. I did say at one point, if you check out one of my videos, one of my vlogs, that I did say that, you know, as I grow doing the YouTube thing, that I will want my videos to be better, look better. The thing is, for now, I like it like this. It's more personal so that you're getting me. You're getting all of me. The visuals is me. How I react to things, my opinion about things, how I feel about things. What's my process? What's my thought process for all of this? This is the visual here. Me. I ain't chopping edits. I ain't putting copyright visuals up here just to make my point. You're getting it from me. Now, don't get me wrong. I come on YouTube and watch videos that, yeah, YouTubers out here, they do put visuals, copyright content on there. And there have been times when they can chop up the videos to edit the mistakes so that they could just get their point across just like that. You know, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I've watched videos that has done that. It's just that for me, I'm not big on it. I just wanted to address that real quick to let y'all know that with these videos, it's as personal and as real and as raw as it's gonna get. And going forward, I will want to keep it going like this. I just wanted to let y'all know about that. I want y'all to understand that videos like this, for me, in terms of doing videos like this, putting it up on YouTube and post these wherever else I can to make sure that y'all know I got this posted up here. Check it out. See it. At the end of the day, for me, no matter how many views I get, no matter how many likes I get, or even dislikes for that matter, no matter how many people see my stuff, subscribe to my stuff, follow my stuff, slowly but surely, I'm gonna grow with this. As always, I make sure to say this. Slowly but surely, I'm going to grow with this. And I'm gonna make sure that for y'all who supports what I'm trying to do, this is what you're getting from me. That's how it is. That's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna get better as I go along. That's always something I kept in mind for the rest of my life. But I will stay true to myself no matter what. Be who I am instead of putting on a mask, putting on a costume, and think that I'm gonna get away with that. So, with that said, it's Blue Flames the Poet, and I'm out.